A significant ship find alters everything. The Curse of Oak Island's 8th season centers on the discovery of a significant ship that could change the course of the inquiry completely. The gang discovers a polished piece of wood that resembles a handrail, which prompts them to surmise that it was once a section of a ship's railing that was attached to the surrounding stone road. This finding adds to the body of data that suggests the wetland once served as an open seaport. However, a large object is impeding their efforts and keeping them from going any further. The gang remains unwavering in their resolve to explore the marsh and learn what lies beneath its surface despite this obstacle. Despite the fact that a significant ship finding has completely changed everything. One of the objects that the crew discovers is a polished piece of wood that resembles a railing. They believe it to be a fragment of a ship's railing, and that it is attached to the surrounding stone path. This would provide as another evidence that the marsh formerly served as an open harbor. They encounter a large item, though, which prohibits them from exploring further and learning more. They won't stop looking until they find what's hidden there, since the group is certain that the swamp holds the knowledge they require. During the 8th season of The Curse of Oak Island, a significant shipwreck is discovered and made public. The group finds a significant relic that has the power to change the direction their search will take, which throws everything into confusion. The find raises questions about the ship's history and purpose, while also giving the members new causes for optimism and excitement. The group is more motivated than ever to carry out their inquiry and uncover new clues that could ultimately unveil the secrets of Oak Island as the mystery grows more baffling. A number of shipping logs were found by the brothers, providing proof that an armada of French soldiers reached Oak Island in 1746. The Duc d'Anville expedition, which was sent from France with the goal of retaking Louisbourg, may have been the source of the artifacts. One of the most thrilling metal detector discoveries on the show happened in the 1st season. Steve Zazulik discovered a copper coin of the Spanish 8 denomination. The object was probably moved there at some point in the 17th century. During the 2nd season of The Curse of Oak Island, metal detecting helped uncover more old coins. Gary Drayton found 2 Britannia coins from King Charles II's reign while walking along the shore. It was hidden beneath a layer of rocks, one of which had the year 1771 carved into its surface, and pyrite. When the crew inspected one of the coins found that season in the episode titled The 90-Foot Stone, they discovered what appeared to be a cross symbol on one side of the coin. The show had the name The 90-Foot Stone. The greatest degree of hope was given to the searchers by this specific treasure that was discovered on Oak Island in 2022 or before. Was it appropriate to utilize it in a financial institution? An episode from the 5th season of the show focused on one of the most significant archaeological finds discovered throughout the course of the series. Drayton and Rick Lagina found a solid lead cross at the seashore after bringing their metal detectors there. It was discovered after analysis that the artifact most likely originated in the 13th century. Additional investigation establishes a link between Oak Island and the Knights Templar in subsequent episodes. Another of Drayton and Rick Lagina's gems was uncovered with a metal detector in the 6th season's opening episode. To search for hidden wealth, they traveled to a region of the island that had not previously been investigated. They moved a big boulder, dragged it up from under it, and found copper in a well-preserved cartwheel 2 pence. Drayton uses his metal detector to focus on a signal, which Rick Lagina uses as a guide to find and unearth a jeweled brooch. Leaded glass was used to make the gem, and gold was utilized to make the other parts of the jewelry. This archaeological gem was uncovered thanks to the use of ground-penetrating radar. It was initially thought to be a crossbow bolt, but an authority on antiquities has speculated that it might have been a javelin, a weapon used by the Romans more than 2,000 years ago. The team finds a metal object in the 2nd episode of the 9th season that appears to be the object they have been looking for since the beginning of the show. Further inspection reveals that only a small fraction of the object is truly made of gold. Through each season, the show explores the exploits of full-time treasure hunters, and the secrets surrounding Oak Island only grow more complicated. For historical research, their findings made with metal detectors open up previously imagined doors, but you can get the same results with your own gear. Always make careful to get permission before searching for anything on someone else's property or on open space. It is widely acknowledged that the discovery of the island's money pit marked the beginning of the history of treasure hunting on Oak Island. The pit, often known as the money pit, is a human-made hole that is frequently assumed to be the location of the lost treasures. The story goes that in 1795, while on an adventure on the island, a group of boys around the age of 13 discovered a dip in the earth. They began digging since they believed it to be a fake hole, and as they dug, they found multiple layers of wood and other things. However, a mysterious flood stopped them in their tracks, filling the hole with water and blocking any further excavation. As soon as word of the discovery spread, treasure seekers from all over the world flocked to Oak Island to look for the loot. The Onslow Company, a group of financiers, organized the first orderly excavation of the money pit in the year 1803. Despite their best efforts, the gang was unable to reach the bottom of the hole, and as a result, they had to cease digging. Many various groups made attempts to unravel the riddles surrounding the island throughout the course of the ensuing century, but they were all in vain. The most serious of these was the flooding of the pit, which made unsafe and difficult further research in the area. The hole was also equipped with a number of intricate devices that, when activated, would force the pit to overflow with water and prevent access to the treasure. Please subscribe and enable post notifications if you want to learn about more exciting discoveries. Despite these challenges, the excavations continued, and the Oak Island Treasure Company was founded in 1861. This specific team was able to dig down to a depth of 90 feet, before the flooding that happened in the pit once more hampered their attempts. The excavations were permanently halted in 1909 as the Oak Island Treasure Company went out of business. Since then, several other parties have made an effort to find the treasure buried on Oak Island, but the riddle of the money pit has remained unsolved to this day. The discovery of the money pit and the initial excavations on the island both had a significant impact on the history of the island and the ongoing search for treasure there. Despite the challenges and barriers that were faced, this is true. The 300 years that have been spent looking for treasure on Oak Island have not lessened interest in the mystery, despite the numerous difficulties and failures that have been encountered. A number of new organizations have stepped up to the plate in recent years with the goal of unlocking the island's mysteries. One of the most significant recent events was the founding in 2010 of the Oak Island Tourism Society, an institution dedicated to the preservation of the island's heritage and the promotion of tourism. The organization has significantly contributed to raising public knowledge of Oak Island and the treasure hunt. The group has also participated in a number of island-wide archaeological digs. From the revelation of concealed pirate wealth suggested by the discovery of a Spanish copper coin from the 17th century to the discovery of gold traces nearly 9 seasons later, the following are the most shocking moments from Oak Island Brothers. First, the Marty copper coin in the Season 1 finale titled, "Find Metal Detection Expert." During his exploration of the swamp on Oak Island, Steve Zellick fortuitously encountered a coin bearing the inscription 8. Upon closer inspection, this ostensibly inconsequential find became highly consequential in the Season 2 premiere entitled Once and Forever. Upon closer inspection, it was disclosed that the coin in question was a Spanish 8 Marav 8s copper coin, which probably originated in the 17th century. To add to the intrigue, the discovery of the year 1652 engraved on its reverse further solidified the discovery. Subsequently, we shall examine a coin and a military button from the 17th century featured in Episode 2 of The Curse of Oak Island, entitled Return to the Money Pit. In this episode, treasure hunter Gary Drayton not only made 2 noteworthy discoveries, but also struck gold. His initial find while metal detecting near the shoreline was particularly intriguing. Drayton et al. Unearthed a button from a military officer's uniform from the 17th century. However, they were unable to definitively determine which military the button belonged to. This finding added an additional dimension of intrigue to the Oak Island mystery, implying a possible historical association with a military presence on the island. It prompted us to speculate whether the military was involved in the concealed secrets beneath the surface, although the revelations did not extend that far. Drayton and his team proceeded to a nearby wooded area where they made their second discovery of the day, a small coin which bears resemblance to the Morava discovered in the previous season's finale during the 17th century. However, there was a twist. It was noticeably smaller, possibly signifying 2 maves rather than the larger 8. Oh, they are different, aren't they? They almost appear to be a Templar cross. These coins may have been small, but their significance was enormous, they hinted. One of the coins found strewn across the shoreline bore the inscription 1771, which unequivocally established its age. Immediately, the inquiry that captivated all was as follows. Where on earth did these coins from the 17th century originate? Were they accidentally dropped during the pursuit of the fabled buried treasure, or could they represent something more peculiar? As we continue, let us discuss the Knights Templar coin from Season 2, Episode 5, entitled The 90th Stone, which stands out as one of those moments that left a lasting impression. A few episodes earlier, Gary Drayton and his team discovered an object that was not at all ordinary. Treasure hunter and diver Tony Sampson noticed an extraordinary cross design on one side of the coin. This cross had the distinct appearance of a Knights Templar cross. Before we continue, let's discuss why this is so perplexing. The Knights Templar were a powerful and secretive medieval order renowned for their what initially seemed like a small Spanish Morave coin turned out to be a potential link to a vast Knights Templar fortune that could be hidden somewhere on Oak Island. The idea that this island could hold the key to a legendary Templar treasure drove fans and treasure hunters alike captivated. Now let's shift our attention to the grape-shot ammunition and horseshoe in Season 5, Episode 8 titled Dan's Breakthrough. It was one of those moments that added more pieces to the puzzle and kept viewers captivated. So, the Lagina brothers and Gary Drayton, never ones to give up, decided to return to Lot 16 near the area where they had previously found 2 English coins in an earlier Season 5 episode, Obstruction. They were on a mission to continue their treasure hunt, and boy did they make some fascinating discoveries. First, they came across a small horseshoe fragment, suggesting it might have been made for a mule or a pony. This was a clue that hinted at the possibility of some kind of activity involving animals in the past on Oak Island. But then things took a more dramatic turn. The trio stumbled upon a piece of ammunition known as grape shot. Grape shot was essentially a cluster of small, round iron balls fired from ship cannons. The fact that they found this on the island was incredibly intriguing. It hinted at a historical connection to maritime activity, possibly even battles or hidden caches of valuables. And the surprises didn't end there. They also discovered another small coin likely from the 17th century, which was consistent with previous coin findings on the island. Each of these artifacts contributed an additional stratum to the expanding enigma of Oak Island. However, the 16th episode of Season 5, entitled Seeing Red, featuring the garnet pendant, was a game-changer that kept viewers on the edge of their seats. Rick Lagina and Gary Drayton made the decision to revisit the location where they had previously unearthed a decorative keyhole. Unbeknownst to them at the time, their return journey would undoubtedly unearth an even more valuable artifact. The investigation commenced with the discovery of a military button from the 17th century, which bore resemblance to the button they encountered in Episode 2 of Season 2. However, the situation became truly thrilling when they unearthed a brooch and what at first appeared to be a multifaceted ruby. In the Season 5 finale, the stakes were abruptly elevated to an entirely new level when the possibility of discovering a precious gemstone on Oak Island kept viewers on the edge of their seats. Incredible discoveries. Gary Drayton had this jewelry examined by a gemologist, and the revelation was nothing short of astounding. What they had mistaken for a ruby was, in fact, a hand-cut Raleigh garnet set in silver. What was even more astounding was that the estimated date of this gem was the 1500s or 1600s. This semi-precious gemstone was not only a valuable discovery, but the most valuable treasure the Lagina team possessed. Following that, which was previously unearthed, the gold-plated brooch was featured in Season 6, specifically in the premiere episode. The discovery in Rick's Big Bang Theory was a genuine game-changer, and it filled the audience with anticipation. Gary Drayton and Rick Lagina are on Oak Island near the residence of Daniel McGinnis, one of the earliest treasure hunters from the 1700s. Using his dependable metal detector, Gary Drayton receives a promising signal. As their anticipation grows, they begin digging, and lo and behold, a jeweled brooch. This was their second such find, following a garnet brooch they discovered in the previous season. Seeing red, the excitement continued in the 6th episode of the following. According to Lutheran Brain, the brooch's threaded technique estimated its age to be no later than the 14th century, notwithstanding the glass gem. It was a remarkable jewelry item with a lengthy and enigmatic past. However, the real revelation came when Dr. Christa Bro and Dr. Xiang Yang, employing an electron microscope, identified a gold component within the brooch. This revelation was a genuine epiphany, whereas the gem itself may have been a little bit disappointing. The brooch that was encircling it was discovered to be an authentic treasure of Oak Island artifact. Next on the list is the hand-painted pottery featured in episode 14 of season 8, titled Fire in the Hole. This particular discovery captivated viewers intently, as it offered a glimpse into the enigmatic workings of Oak Island. To provide a brief synopsis, archaeologists Miriam Amiro and Dr. Aaron Taylor embark on an expedition to decipher the parameters of a stone pathway that potentially holds the key to unlocking the island's secrets. As their investigation progresses, they fortuitously encounter a remarkable handcrafted artifact. Upon further inspection, they discover pottery fragments adorned with vibrantly colored designs, painted by hand in red, blue, and green hues. These exquisite fragments provide insight into a long history of human activity on Oak Island, a mysterious location shrouded in mystery for centuries. What makes the discovery of these colorful pottery pieces along the stone pathway that the team is laboriously attempting to investigate even more intriguing is that they were not found as isolated finds. Rather, they were discovered while following a breadcrumb trail of hints. Lastly, gold was unearthed in episode 2 of season 9, titled The Gold Medal of the Curse of Oak Island. This find captivated Oak Island enthusiasts. The Oak Island team laboriously sorts through the spoils unearthed from tedious holes in the money pit area. It's a laborious process, but they eventually come across a piece of metal that could be precisely what they've been seeking all these years. They transport this metal specimen to an archaeology laboratory. The most intriguing aspect of this metal fragment, which is composed of numerous elements, is that approximately 0.07% of it registers as Au, the chemical symbol for gold. This is a game changer. Gold has been a long-standing enigma surrounding Oak Island. Presently, archaeologists are discovering indications of this precious metal in the very soil they've been excavating. However, the intrigue does not cease there. Just 2 episodes later, in episode 4 of season 9, they make another metallic discovery. This time, it is only a stone's throw from where they discovered the first trace of gold. The results of their rigorous examination of this new source of metal are even more astounding. It contains 0.2% gold, a significantly higher percentage than the previous find. This revelation represents a major breakthrough, as trace amounts of gold are now confirmed on Oak Island. From traces of gold to ancient coins and a possible connection to the Knights Templar, these were some of the most shocking moments of Oak Island Brothers. With each discovery, we were reminded that this treasure hunt is far from over, and the mysteries of Oak Island remain as enthralling as ever, including the area's possible link to a money pit. I had a good sense about this lot, especially since there are so many flags to pursue. Are you prepared to get your teeth stuck in? Then we should proceed.